Hi, my name is Erica, and I'm probably going to do that a lot. I don't know. This is my February book haul. I have been mooching a lot of books from BookMooch. BookMooch is a site where you can trade books. You basically put anything you don't want on, you get a point for it. And then if you like anything, you can use your points to get it from somebody else. So I've been mooching a lot of books, and I've been making a lot of Amazon orders because I have a gift card on there. For books to finish out, mostly series. I have so many series that I haven't read because I have pieces of them. I don't know how I keep buying series and only buying like book 2 of 5, things like that. So I've been trying to get them all sorted out and put together. Basically supplementing what I already have, because I'm trying. My goal this year is to read more of the series I have. It's also to read a lot of the books that I have, because I have tons of books I bought years ago that I haven't read yet. I don't know why. I was really excited. But anyway, so my haul has a lot of random series stuff in it. But first off is from Five Below today. I went there after work today, and I picked up this little set of books. This little set was $5 for both of these, which was kind of awesome. So this one is the Italian baking book, and then this one's Italian family cooking, which, if you can see it, I already marked one because I'm going to make that next week. So that's the first two. And then I got this through BookMooch, which, by the way, this is how awesome BookMooch is. Do you see this? It's like perfect condition and beautiful. It's The Walk to Remember by Nicholas Sparks. I'm sure you already know what this is. If you don't, you should. It's a really good movie. I never read the book. My mom is addicted to Nicholas Sparks. She loves him. And she's trying to make sure she has all his books, and this was one she didn't have yet. So I got this one, which actually is in my room because I would like to read it first. And then, beautiful, so pretty. I don't keep a lot of books. It's actually why I like BookMooch so much. I read a book, I pass it on to somebody else. I don't reread a lot of books. Some here and there, like Harry Potter. I have a whole series. I'm not going to get rid of it. I read a book and I pass it on to somebody else, or I put it on BookMooch and then I trade it for a new book. But these books are ones that every time they come out, I get them. I collect them. They're what I call coffee table books, because they're ones that are more picture than word, I guess. But it's a whole series, I guess, at this point, and there's like 6 of them that I love, and it's Post Secret. World of Post Secret. Post Secret, if you've never heard of it, is a website that every week Frank Warren, the guy who created it, he actually puts on the site postcards that people send in to him with secrets on them. I can just show you some that are in here. Hold on, maybe. So like things like this, like these are actually from the app that existed, now there's a new one. But things like that, they're just secrets that people share, and I love the website. And when they put out the first book, I bought it, and then the second book came out and a friend bought it for me, and the third book came out and I bought that one, and I just, every time they come out I have to buy them. I love them so much. And I actually just got this today. It just came in today, but I guarantee you I'll have it read by the end of the day. So the next one, and actually these two too, the next 3 really are from a little mini shopping trip my niece and I took looking for a book that she's tried to read, which actually it's the next one in this series that she was looking for, so we'll do this one first. This is actually a lend part of my haul. My niece, who's 13, reads a lot of weird books, I guess is the way to put it. She likes darker stories and stuff, and because she likes stuff like that and she knows I love things like that, she'll read something and pass it on to me. I shouldn't say only weird or off books, because she actually handed me Wonder and told me I had to read it, and such a good book. So yeah. So this one, this is Enclave, I think. Is that how you say it? Enclave? Is that right? Ooh, it's shiny, very shiny. Can you see it? It's by Anne Aguirre. I don't know. It's about people that are separated into freaks, and oh no, they call them freaks. Okay, I don't know. They're separated into 3 different groups. they're brats, like right off the bat, until they're separated, I guess, when they're 15. I think it's so. Yeah, if they survive the first 15 years, they're called brats. They get separated into 3 different groups, and that's what happens. And she kept telling me about the freaks in it and all the crazy stuff that happens with those, and said I had to. We were talking about it sounded like a cool book, so she said I had to read it. So she passed that on to me. So we went to the bookstore. We actually went to two or three. I think they were the 2 different ones. Trying to find the next book that she needed, which was actually the 3rd one in the series, because she had the 2nd one on loan from the library. She wanted to get both. We were having struggling trying to find them. So she let me that one. And in the run of trying to find that, we ran into this. Oh my goodness, the glare is terrible. I'm sorry. Bad enough with the glasses. We ran into this. This is The Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe. Hands down, one of my favorite stories ever. I love Edgar Allan Poe. Edgar Allan Poe is, I guess, like a serious inspiration for me. I write myself, and I wrote poetry a lot when I was younger. And when I wrote poetry, it was always in that prose form. It was very Poe. I was telling my niece about, again, because she was into like this book and some other ones. One of the things she was telling me about sounded a lot like Telltale Heart, and then I gave her like a condensed version of it. So I told her when I found a book that just had that as a feature, that I would get it. So we walked by it, and I was like, "Oh, this one's awesome!" And actually, and this is the this is by. Oh, it's a Bantam Classic. It's Bantam, right? Bantam, yeah, Bantam. It's the Bantam Classic bound one, and it actually has. And I looked at it, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, this actually has a whole bunch of really good ones in it." So it has the Telltale Heart, but it also has Black Cat, Cask of Amontillado. I can't say it. Fall of Usher, Mask of the Red Death. It's got Murders in Rue Morgue in it, Purloined Letter, which I love, Pit and the Pendulum, come on. And then it also has some of his poems like To Helen and Annabelle, and it has The Raven, of course, and Annabelle Lee and the Bells. It's a really good little collection for an introduction to Poe. So I bought it to put in my niece's book club, because every month I do 2 books for her. Don't forget. Every month I do 2 books for her. And I just throw in a thing, and that's our little book club. They're usually, I got that, man, I got this for $5, which, I mean, it's brand new for $5, and it's Poe for $5. That's good. That is good. So yeah, so I got that for her. I'm probably gonna read it first. And I keep feeling like I'm gonna cough. I'm sorry. But then I got, and this is BookTube's fault, I would just like to say, because I saw these and read the thing and thought, oh, those look like cool books. And then every time I watch a BookTube video, in the background, somebody's bookshelf, which I know I'm not saying in front of a bookshelf, but my bookshelves are crammed in closets and stuff, and I don't know, maybe someday I'll figure out how to get in front of that. So I got Cinder, and I got Scarlet, so the first 2 in Lunar Chronicles, and again, this cost me $6 for both of these. I think maybe 7 for both of these. And look, one of them's freaking hardcover. Well, that happens, mind you. That also happened with this one. Okay, so I showed you this book. We were running around trying to find the 2nd and 3rd one. Couldn't find the 3rd one because they were out of stock, but the 2nd one they had. And in paperback, it was $12, I think it was. Right? $10. It was $10 in paperback. And then we found it over in the bargain book section for $3. So needless to say, she ended up buying a hardcover of it instead in bargain books because it had that. And it's the 2nd one, which I can't remember what it's called now. And then, what else did I get in February? Oh, these are more Moochie things. So this is part of a series. I can't remember how I heard of Liz Carlisle or her series at all. I almost think it was BookMooch does recommendations, kind of like Amazon does, based on whatever you've asked for before. I don't read like your standard romance novels. I read a lot of what's the term, considered chick lit, and that kind of stuff. So I read contemporary and stuff like that. But but it was suggested that I read Liz Carlisle, and it's a different series that I have on my shelf. It's the 3 Little Sins, which sounded really entertaining. And I couldn't tell you right now what it's about, other than it's about a woman and something to do with some weird tryst or whatever. But it's like it's basically a standard romance novel, meaning that it's a little salacious, to say the least. I read the first 2 chapters of the first one in the series, which I just ordered the other day, but apparently it's already shipped. Go Amazon for that. I love when things ship that fast. But this one is Never Romance a Rake. Hi, how funny is Never Romance a Rake? Isn't that the weirdest title? I don't know what a rake is. I don't know if we're talking like garden stuff or something else, but the series, from what I gathered from reading the first couple chapters of the first book of the series, which, mind you, this is the 3rd book of the series. I already had for like 2 years the second one, and now the first one's on its way, so it's probably totally backwards. The series consists of Never Lying to a Lady, Never Deceive a Duke, and Never Romance a Rake. And again, I don't know what a rake is. It's a historical trilogy. It's romance. It's a romance novel. I mean, like in the first 2 chapters of the first book, there's already, I think, like 3 paragraphs in, and there's already like a sex scene. And I was like, oh, so this is a romance. Which I still find really funny that books that are written that way are considered a romance novel, because it doesn't strike me as romance-ish. I don't know. Whatever. I don't understand genres and stuff anyway, and how things get thrown, where they get thrown, and I don't know. I don't understand it. I like what I like. Anyway, so the first 2 chapters of that, though, it already seems like a really easy read, and it already seems like super entertaining because I was laughing and it was just like, why is she running away? It was really fun. So it's about a girl who is single. I take it from reading it that she's a little older, and she's single while everybody else is like getting married. It's that kind of thing, but it's historical. It's set in I'm trying to think of when it's set in. I'm not sure how far away. It's a historical drama that seems to be set in, I want to say, like French Revolution-y area, like just based on the way that they're talking and stuff like that. Or I'm not really sure. I'm not even sure where it's taking place. I know there's dukes and there's things, and that seems like old school royalty and that kind of stuff. But I could be totally wrong as to when this is taking place. You can quote me on it. But yeah, they take place in that, and the first one's already engaging. It was already fun. I kind of wished I already had it because I read 2 chapters of it and was like, I'm ready. So that one I'm currently reading. When it comes, I'll probably read that and sit down and read these ones too. So there's that one. The next thing I got, let me take off all poster. The next one I got this month was actually, this is going to be a reread, but Paragon, which is the first book in the Inheritance series by Christopher Paolini. I feel like I should know how to say that right now, Paolini. If you don't know what these are about, first of all, get them and read them, because this book is fantastic. I read this the year it came out, so I think it was like, I want to say that was over 10 years ago now. I love the series. This came out in, oh, look at the big eye. Ooh, that's so fun. This one came out in 2002. So yeah, in 2002, I bought this when it came out. I was hardcover. Lovely. I bought it like, I think it came out and I bought it 2 days later because it sounded like a cool book. It's about a kid who is basically like a farm boy. Like he's not affluent or anything like that. He lives more in like the poor side of town, that kind of thing. And he ends up finding a dragon. I think if I remember right, and I could just read the back of this one. If I remember right, he finds a dragon egg, and the egg hatches, and there's this pretty dragon right here. He decides he wants to be a dragon rider, which are these like famed. They're legendary. It's literally what it says. Can Aragon take up the mantle of legendary dragon riders? He wants to be a dragon rider, like the other people. But again, he's poor. He's from the other side of the tracks. It doesn't seem like it's gonna happen. In this book, mind you, and I think he wrote the whole series. The author was like 16 when he wrote this, and it's, first of all, it's huge. They're big books. They're all like in 500s or whatever. But it's so good. I read this book in a matter of a couple of days, I think, of the first one, and then when the second one came out, I bought it, and it's been on my shelf ever since. So I think the second one came out a year later, if I remember correctly, and I just turned to look at it because it's over there. and I put it on my shelf, and I was in the middle of reading some other stuff, and it's been over 10 years and I still haven't read that series, and I love it. So I decided, and it's actually part of my TBR for the year-a-thon readathon. It's happening next week. Is it next week? I think it's next week. The theme this month is Benchwarmers, so it's books that you've had for a while that you haven't read. So I decided I was going to read Eldest, which is the second one in the series I've had forever, and then instantly the readathon, because I've had it forever. So I was like, oh, that's great. And then it quickly dawned on me that I don't remember much more than there was a dragon and a boy whose name is Aragon, and he wants to be a dragon rider. I can't remember how this ended. I only remember that I hated the movie and thought that they just, it was terrible. It was nowhere near as good as this book was. I have to get the book again, so can we just talk about, you're gonna hear this a lot. If I end up making these videos, like I'm thinking I'm going to, you're gonna hear me gush about BookMooch a lot. Because again, this is mooched, which means I did not pay for this book. They paid shipping, and that's it, because that's how BookMooch works. The only amount that you pay is however much you choose to pay when you ship out something somebody else wants. So, which sometimes can be really expensive. My last run of BookMooch books, I had to send 4 books, and it cost me $30. But for the amount of books that I get through this, it works out for me. But anyway, look at this. It's so pretty, and I like the fact that this one actually came from somebody in my state, so it came really quickly, and the girl was actually laughing because she had been in my town the week before. But anyway, so that one came. So that one I'm actually going to read next week, probably, because part of the readathon. If I finish the book I'm reading now, because I really want to read it. And then, let's see, the last one that was part of my haul is this one, which is by Jane Green, and it's To Have and To Hold. This actually has a cool spine. Look, it's like little flower. Can you see it? There's like little flowers, and it's cute, and a Goodwill sticker, because apparently somebody bought this at Goodwill. This is on my mooched, because I was reading, and that's actually part of my wrap-up. I was reading Swapping Lives, and Swapping Lives said, from the author, whatever, so I decided if I had those books, I would grab it, and then I realized I didn't have this one, and Jane Green is an author that I really enjoy. I feel like her writing is really relatable. Her style is really almost conversational, and it's engaging, and it's just fun to read anyway, and she's always got these interesting, quirky women in them, which is fun for me, because I feel like I fit into a quirky category sometimes. People don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's there. But this one I didn't have, and this one, I think if I remember right, is about a woman who's going to get married. Yeah, so she's getting married, and then she runs into her high school crush, and she has to decide between old flames and new flames, basically. I think that's what I'm pretty sure that's what it's about. I don't. You see this? This is really long. I don't want to read this whole thing right now. So that's it. So that's my haul for this month. As of right now, I know that I'm getting more books. They're coming every day. I swear, every day I have a book. I literally got home today and Post Secret was there. Every day I get another book in the mail. It's just because of my timing of mooching and buying stuff on Amazon, which is awesome. I mean, really, what's better for somebody that's a total bookworm than to get a book every day in the mail and to know these are already paid for and you don't have to worry about anything, right? Okay, so that's my haul, and that's pretty fun. This might be. This light is really weird right now. Hello, hi. Remember when I said I wasn't getting any more books this month? That's why I did my haul. 2 came today, so we're just gonna add. This is Queen of Babel in the Big City by Meg Cabot. It's the second book in the Queen of Babel series. The first one is hilarious, really easy read, and I'm excited to read this one. And I got cute. Wait. Mini Shopaholic. I'm covering part of the cover because I find it annoying that they technically spoiled the end of the 5th book by the way they did the cover for this book. Because if you were to buy, I'm doing it again too. If you were to buy this lovely little series all at once, you would notice that all of the cover art, when it gets to this one, shows the sex of the child that they have. But the book before that They spend the whole book until the last 5 pages till they tell you like what she actually had. So I feel like it's a spoiler right on the cover, so I'm covering it. So yeah, so I'm excited to read that one too. And there's one more in each of those series, and those are actually, apparently I got a notification they shipped, so they're on their way. So yeah, so that is officially the end of my February book haul, since tomorrow is the last day of February, and I don't think I'm supposed to be getting any more books. Awesome. Okay,